Hey there, traders and investors. It's Rod with POW Group. Welcome back in the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily market recap. Today's a recap for June 11th. It's Friday. Happy Friday. And in today's video, as the topic of the day, we're going to be discussing mind medicine and whether or not a big breakout is coming. So we'll look at this chart in detail in just a moment. But before we do, make sure to smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Going to do what we normally do, go through some news and events on the day, and then we'll look at the broader market, and then we'll look at the MNMD chart in detail and some technical analysis on that. I'll put some timestamps in the description below as well. So the S&P 500 had a weekly all-time high weekly record close again this week and post third straight winning week. Amazon and Apple and Facebook and Google all getting some pressure here as lawmakers unveil major bipartisan antitrust reform that could reshape all of those companies. So essentially, it could be an overhaul on all of their businesses just to protect against conflicts of interest, that type of thing. There's going to be 5 bills that would make it harder for them to complete mergers as well. And this comes after that investigation last year about the antitrust probe into those 4 companies. Also, Amazon predicting by JP Morgan that Amazon will overtake Walmart as the largest US retailer in 2022. Not surprising, I could see that happening absolutely. So Bitcoin back in a 15-minute uptrend and most names following, so not really much to report here. A close over EMA 12 though is going to be good and bullish because we closed above it here on June 3rd, but we immediately lost it and then went back into daily consolidation. Difference is this time we have a daily inside bar on watch and we're back testing and holding and forming a base of support off that EMA 12. So we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, but we have a lack of resistance until 39,489 and then 40,900 after that. So if we can get back over EMA 26, I'm still extremely bullish. I don't think that the bull market is over. I think we're going to set a bottom here at 30,000. I don't see us losing 30,000 from here. And extremely bullish on crypto at the moment, but we could see some sideways, some sideways action and just some slowness in that space for the next couple of months. So moving on to the broader market, SPY looks like it wants more next week after closing here at a weekly record close, setting new all-time highs, no major red flags, still holding the 10-week moving average, still holding the weekly uptrend, still holding the weekly EMA 12. So no major red flags here whatsoever. Closed near the high of the day here today as well. And daily bull flag confirming on the S&P 500. So no major red flags. Moving on to the dollar is strong today, but we did have resistance in a double top. We had 90.62 resistance. We get as high as 90.61 and starting to pull back. Keep in mind, we're still in a daily uptrend and it looks like we're setting a new daily high or low here at 89.83. So if we can see follow through, then we'll have a new daily high or low here at 89.83. That will become the new daily support, but we held that daily uptrend on that pullback. And this is a little concerning if you're bullish in stocks and whatnot. In assets, you generally don't want to see the dollar strong, but we're still in a weekly and monthly downtrend, so nothing has changed on the macro perspective, but still in a monthly downtrend here. This could be a monthly lower high. And if we do lose this 89.20 support, we have nothing until 88.25, and then after that, a lack down to 78. So it's not completely out of the woods yet. Still got a lot of work to do on the dollar. So we're going to be watching that chart very closely, though, as we're starting to see a little bit of momentum shift. IWM today was a lot more bullish than it was yesterday, but a daily inside bar, so just a tightening range, closing near the high of the day. And the tech sector also broke out today, closing near the high of the day. And that's why SPY was so strong today, as a lot of our systems, our ETFs and our sectors were going in the same direction at the same time in unison. SMH closing near the high as well, breaking out on the daily, very correlated to QQQ in the tech sector, but just a little bit weaker. On oil, we broke out today, and we're over $70. We really don't have any resistance on oil up until, I think it was 76.88. So moving on to the metals. So we'll look at silver. Silver was catching up to gold here today. We were breaking out, but pulling back near the low here. And gold closing near the low, but we broke the high of yesterday, but then pulled back, closing near the low, and ultimately holding EMA 26 here. And we're set up for a potential daily trend change. So if we can break 1903, that'll confirm a daily uptrend. But if we lose 1856, that confirms a daily downtrend. So going to be very telling on the metals here into next week. Biotech sector. So we broke out, looks like we broke the high of yesterday just barely by 2 pennies, but finished with a lower wick, still no daily consolidation and a daily bull flag potential. XLE energy sector, again, closing near the low of the day and a bit weaker today with a daily inside bar. XLF, financial sector. So I'm going to be watching this one very closely. We're up here after hours. It's a daily inside bar, so we're going to see if we can get the daily bounce underway on Monday. And this is going to be good for those that are bullish on MJ, in my opinion. We're starting to see a correlation pick up between the financial sector and the MJ space, and I think that could be due to potential banking reform and just US legalization. So I'll do another video later on for an MJ sector review, going to do that separate. But the healthcare sector, I think this shocked a lot of people as well. We were in a daily downtrend, and then we had the low, high, higher, low, higher, high, and confirmed a daily uptrend, and we were extremely strong, went from extremely weak to extremely strong. That's how quickly things can change, and it's a daily inside bar here in tightening range into next week. So moving on to the Mind Medicine chart. So we are looking good here on the daily. We're confirming a daily uptrend, and we have the low here at $3.285. So we had resistance at 386. We closed above it, and we have a lack of resistance here until we have a mini level at 492, so $5 psychological, and then 577, which is the high of this recent bounce, and the 52-week high, all-time high, and breaking out on the monthly from this monthly inside bar. And on the weekly time frame, you can see here that we have a big range here from 205 to 577, and we're just looking to form a base of support here, and we're holding EMA 12 on this weekly pullback. But this is a name that we're extremely bullish on in our group as well. We had increasing bull volume, still nowhere near daily overbought as well. So this is a name that I'm still holding a very big position and expecting a breakout. Let me know in the comments below, do you think we're going to see a massive move at some point next week with that lack of resistance? And on the weekly time frame, we actually had an algo alert in our group on MNMD not too long ago, and closed over the 10-week moving average, extremely bullish on the MACD and the stochastic. And in terms of the moving averages, we're well above all of the 50, 100, 200 weekly moving averages. And we held that 50 weekly moving average on that pullback. Taking a look at the daily moving averages, we're having a bull cross of the 50 and the 100 here, and we held that 50-day moving average on that pullback, which was, again, a nice support entry, and just a lot of support in that area. And it's looking extremely strong. Another important factor to highlight here was the fact that we held the weekly VWAP, so we haven't closed a single weekly candle below that weekly VWAP at 318. We also have the 20 weekly moving average at 322. So it's looking like we're going up into next week. I could expect at least a 10 to 20% move from here. Would not be surprised in the least. But this is one of my larger positions. But again, a long-term hold, extremely bullish on this name for the long term. So moving on to some individual names today. Just taking a look at the bull and bear list. So MVMD led the decline, NEXE and Snow. On the bull list, we had AMC, DFLY, and NEO. NEO had some news today and explains why the strength in the stock recently. DFLY, nice move and lack of resistance up until 211. And just wanted to highlight MVMD real quick. So this was a name that we've been covering. I did a video a few days ago. You can check that out as well. But I said I was averaging in all the way down here on daily oversold. And then from 35 cents, we bounced 130%. So I was telling people we could bounce from these levels, we could bounce 150% and still just be looking for a daily lower high. And that's the case. That's exactly what happened. We had that daily inside bar, which was the go signal. So if you would have just entered here at 45 cents, you would have saw 75% of upside. And like I said, anything under 87 cents is just a daily lower high. So we're still in a daily downtrend. This could be a daily lower high being set. We closed at the low of the day. It's not looking good. Increasing bear volume as well. And we closed below those daily EMAs and even closed under the 10-day moving average. So we could see a lot more downside from here. And if you remember from that video, I said, watch, if we get over 60 cents, we're likely going to 80 cents, but we're going to have strong resistance there at 80 cents. Look where we topped out, 79 cents. And look, from that level, we've now pulled back over 37%. So I literally called it out play by play. And I know a lot of people, were saying they were going to hold, they were bullish for the long term, and that's fine too, right? And we even had a daily inside bar that broke bearish, and then we started daily consolidation. So even if you exited on that, that would have saved you another, 18 to 20% of downside. So, you know, if you're holding for the long term, that's a completely different story, right? If you're holding in an account where you're going to incur capital gains or something like that, that's a different story as well. But personally, I have a long-term account with my long-term no touches, and then I have a swing and day trade account that I trade more frequently. I just find that is the best way, that, you know, the best thing that works for me, and kind of get the best of both worlds, so to speak. So going to end it there. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel on the way out, and we'll see you a little bit later on for an MJ sector review. Take care, everybody, and have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you next week after market close.